On Europe editor Phil Colclough, Mission Eurovision's Anna Ferguson, Eurovision broadcaster Lisa Jane Lewis, OK UK President Alastair Rendell. All Out Eurovision.
A broken heart is all that's left. I'm still fixing all the cracks. Lost a couple of pieces when I carried it home. I'm afraid of all I am. My mind feels like a foreign land. Silence ringing inside my head. Please carry me home. I spent all of the love I saved. We were always a losing game. Small town boy in a big arcade. I got addicted to a losing game. Giving us up didn't take a lot. I saw the end for it begun. Still I carried on. All I know, loving you is a losing game. Get me up this roller coaster. All I know.
Winner in 2019, Duncan Lawrence with Arcade, which takes the Eurovision Song Contest in 2021 to the city of Rotterdam. I'm David Murphy, welcome to All Out Eurovision. Joining me on the show this week, panel members Anna Ferguson from Mission Eurovision, Lisa Jane Lewis, Eurovision broadcaster, Phil Colclough from On Europe, and Alastair Rendell for the OGAE fan club president, plus Martin from Let Me Be The One on Bradley Stoke Radio. They'll be telling us what they think of this year's pre-qualifiers, telling us what's coming up on the show. It's over to JP.
Representing France,
Barbara Pravi and Voila.
Voilà qui je suis, me voilà même si mise à nu c'est fini. C'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri, me voilà, tant pis. Voilà, juste ici, moi mon rêve, mon envie. Comme j'en crève, comme j'en ris, me voilà dans le bruit. Et dans le silence.
representing Germany,
Jendrik and I Don't Feel Hate.
What? 'Cause I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. You feel so very clever whenever you find another way to wear me down. But I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. So you can wiggle back to me, the thing it'll never wiggle back to you. I don't feel hate.
Representing Italy.
Måneskin and City Ep1.
Io ho scritto pagine e pagine, ho visto sale e poi lacrime. Questi uomini in macchine, non scalare le rapide. Scritto sopra una lapide, in casa mia non c'è Dio. Ma se trovi il senso del tempo risalirai dal tuo oblio. E non c'è vento che fermi la naturale potenza. Dal punto giusto di vista del vento senti l'ebbrezza. Con una lincera alla schiena ricercherò quell'altezza. Se vuoi fermarmi di testa prova a tagliarmi la testa. Perché sono fuori di testa, ma diverso da loro. E tu sei fuori di testa, ma diverso.
Representing the Netherlands.
Django McCoy and the Birth of
Representing Spain.
Blas Canto and Voy Quedarme.
Voy a quedarme, prometo quererte más que ayer. Voy a besarte muy lento como la primera vez y dejar atrás el miedo con tu alma entre mis dedos. Quédate porque yo voy a quedarme a tu lado aunque nos tiemble el suelo.
Representing the United Kingdom.
James Newman and Ambers.
You and I gonna light up the room.
Representing France.
Écoutez-moi, moi la chanteuse à demi. Parlez de moi, à vos amours, à vos amis. Parlez-leur de cette fille aux yeux noirs et de son rêve fou. Moi ce que je veux, c'est écrire des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous. C'est tout. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Me voilà même si, mise à nu j'ai peur. Oui, me voilà dans le bruit et dans le silence. Regardez-moi, ou du moins ce qu'il en reste. Regardez-moi, avant que je me déteste. Quoi vous dire que les lèvres d'une autre ne vous diront pas. C'est peu de choses, mais moi, tout ce que j'ai, je le dépose là. Voilà. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Me voilà même si, mise à nu c'est fini. C'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri. Me voilà, tant pis. Voilà, 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 juste ici, moi, mon rêve, mon envie. Comme j'en crève, comme j'en ris, me voilà dans le bruit. Et dans le silence. Ne partez pas, je vous en supplie, restez longtemps. Ça me sauvera peut-être pas, mais faire sans vous, je sais pas comment. Aimez-moi comme on aime un ami qui s'en va pour toujours. Je veux qu'on m'aime, parce que moi je sais pas bien aimer mes contours. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Me voilà même si, mise à nu c'est fini. Me voilà dans le bruit et dans la fureur aussi. Regardez-moi enfant, et mes yeux et mes mains, tout ce que j'ai est ici. C'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri. Me voilà, me voilà, me voilà.
I'm David Murphy. You're listening to All Out Eurovision. Let's see what our panel make of this year's entry from France.
Merde, zut alors, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Well, 39 songs, one has got to come last, and for me, this is it. I'm sorry. Truly my least favourite song of this year's contest. In fact, one of the worst Eurovision songs I've heard in some years. Now, the thing is, I actually love French ballads normally, but there's something about this that just makes me cringe. Someone said it was very Edith. However, I think that's a bit more Madame Edith out of a Low Low rather than Edith Piaf. Now, let me go and put some cheese in my ears. France, 1 point.
Really love her voice. It's got a nice sort of 20 Benson and Hedges a day vibe to it. Don't hate the song, but also we don't want to dance to it. And let's face it, that's what Mission Eurovision wants to do when it's Eurovision. I'm going to give it 4 points.
France have really brought something different to the contest, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's everyone's saying it, and it is a kind of modern, contemporary Edith Piaf kind of vibe going on, but it's not old-fashioned. It's not in the past. It's very much of the now. And Barbara sings it so well. It suits her amazingly. And am I the only one who thinks she looks like Fleabag? I don't know. This is a brilliant entry. France are strong contenders, I think, this year. And it would be great to have a contest in France. I can't imagine how that would be. The last time they won was the year I was born. So for France, I'm giving them 10 points.
France's entry, Barbara Pravi with Voila. One word sums it up for me, exceptionnel. Eurovision France C'est vous qui décidez was one of the best national finals this season, and Barbara was the pinnacle, providing a modern chanson with incredible vocals and emotional delivery, plus the intimacy that only a spotlight out the darkness can give. This is my favourite entry of 2021 and gets my 12 points.
You can often tell which nation has sent a specific song from a mile off, and this song could be nothing other than French. Seriously, it could only be more French if it smelled of garlic and wore the musical equivalent of a stripy t-shirt, and in many ways it does. It harks back to an era where the French language chanson was queen, but mixes that with the 1940s in the preview video, and as a piece of art, Barbara Pravi and her entourage hit all the right notes, and, unlike Morecambe and Wise, mostly in the right order. Barbara is clearly modelling herself on Edith Piaf in her look, and she has a voice that wouldn't seem out of place in a smoky cabaret bar in Marseille, and the talent's there as she sings this very easily. My worry is, will Europe get or understand this piece of musical art? Because make no mistake, that's what it is with the lyric about a singer who wants to give people something beautiful with a voice. There's certainly an argument that the juries will lap this up, but the televote will kill it stone dead because, and let's face it, televoters across Europe will have more to get them excited about in many other songs that will get to the final. If you like this sort of thing, you'll not have a word said against it, and it's certainly above average, but I fear for it in a competitive setting. 6 points.
Representing Germany.
I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. You feel so very clever whenever you find another way to wear me down. I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. So you can wiggle at the made thing that it'll never wiggle back to you. Cause I don't feel sorry. I really don't care that you want to bash me. Do it with flair and I'll let you be. But don't you dare to get angry. But when you realize those words just don't hit me. What? Cause I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. You feel so very clever whenever you find another way to wear me down. But I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. So you can wiggle back to me the thing that it'll never wiggle back to you. Cause I don't feel hate. essential for survival.
See what? Did you not just say that?
Yes, I did, and I feel sorry. I don't feel hate, that's the whole point of the song. I guess you need victimization as some kind of validation. You're in the fixation that your enemy fixation is another affirmation that you just say every person is not really better than me. I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. Feel so very clever whenever you find another way to wear me down.
Meine Damen und Herren, das war's mit I Don't Feel Hate. Ich hoffe, Sie haben noch ein derbe nices Leben und bis bald.
'Cause I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. Feel so very clever whenever you find another way to wear me down. But I don't feel hate, I just feel sorry. So you can wiggle, 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 wiggle you. 'Cause I don't feel.
This is All Out Eurovision. I'm David Murphy. So let's see what the panel think of this year's entry from Germany.
Well, I don't feel hate, implores Jendrik, and you know what? I don't. I mean, even though everything about this song should scream, "This is awful, please stop listening at once, turn it off," there's something about it that's just rather endearing, although there is a fine balance between endearing and annoying, and this could quite easily end up on the wrong side of that divide. But many people are writing this off completely, but it could become a kind of accidental top 10 of the televoters, although I can't see the jurors feeling much love for this. But I'm giving Germany 7 points.
Another song about middle fingers. What is it? 2021, the year of the phalange. Just don't get this one at all. It's like the title music for a children's TV show in the 1990s. Don't like it, don't get it. But there was sequins in the video, so we're going to chuck it a point.
Well, then there's Germany, isn't there? This is a Marmite song, and we usually have one or two of those every year. It's Marmite. You either love it or hate it. I love Marmite, but I don't like this song at all. Ironically, it's called I Don't Feel Hate, yet that's sort of the emotion that it stirs up in me. Maybe hate's a strong word, but no, this is a quirky German entry that I can't see really connecting with the viewers and the juries of Europe. I think we're not going to see a strong result from Germany this year. I mean, who knows what might happen in the staging, but it's going to take a lot. No surprise, I would imagine. For me, for Germany, nothing. 0. No.
Germany's entry, Jendrik's I Don't Feel Hate, is the perfect tonic for what's been happening over the past 12 months. The video and studio version is fun, witty, and puts a smile on my face every time, whilst the live performance in Germany was manic and crowd-pleasing. Let's hope it all comes together on the night. At the moment, Germany gets 8 points from me.
There is often one song in the Eurovision Song Contest that is so repugnant and vile, and the singer looks like they need repeatedly punching with a piece of 2x4, that burning in the fires of hell for eternity would be too good for it. Denmark is one such song, and this thing is another. No, on this occasion I'm not being Grumpy Phil that dislikes everything. I'm being Phil who, when he first saw Jendrik on his online shenanigans, decided immediately that he needed to stop being the ironic gay and just be a performer in a song contest. The irony goes as far as the song being entitled I Don't Feel Hate, which is literally an invitation for people that write or speak about this kind of thing to immediately say, really, let's test that hypothesis. I'm going to level with you listeners, I've seen this song precisely twice. Once in general, and once while writing this, and it made my skin crawl for all of those 6 minutes. I know the definition of a song is a collection of seemingly random notes put in some sort of melodic order, but this doesn't have any order or idea, just chaos, and yes, I know that's supposed to be the point. But in the first 2 minutes of the song you have 55 seconds of instrumental, and in the final minute you have nothing but the chorus on an infinite temporal loop. The whole thing is so annoyingly smug and self-centred and seemingly better than you are that I'm surprised it doesn't disappear up itself by the end of the song. Having said that though, there's enough for your drunk televoter on a Saturday night to ignore the quality and have a cheeky little vote for this. And all those cheeky little votes do add up. The televote will save this one, but really, it should have been put out of its misery at birth. No points.
Representing Italy.
Loro non sanno di che parlo, vestiti sporchi fra di fango, giallo di siga fra le dita, io con la siga camminando. Scusami ma ci credo tanto che posso fare questo salto, e anche se la strada è in salita, per quest'ora mi sto allenando. E buonasera signore e signori, fuori gli attori, vi conviene toccarvi i coglioni, vi conviene stare zitti e buoni, qui la gente è strana tipo spacciatori. Troppe notti stavo chiuso fuori, mo li prendo a calci sti portoni, sguardo in alto tipo scalatori, quindi scusa mamma se sto sempre fuori, ma sono fuori di testa, ma diverso da loro, e tu sei fuori di testa, ma diversa da loro, siamo fuori di testa, ma diversi da loro, siamo fuori di testa, ma diversi da loro. Io ho scritto pagine e pagine, ho visto sale e poi lacrime, questi uomini in macchine, non scalare le rapide, scritto sopra una lapide, in casa mia non c'è Dio, ma se trovi il senso del tempo risalirai dal tuo oblio, e non c'è vento che fermi la naturale potenza, dal punto giusto di vista del vento senti l'ebbrezza, con una lincera alla schiena ricercherò quell'altezza, se vuoi fermarmi di testa prova a tagliarmi la testa, perché sono fuori di testa, ma diverso da loro, e tu sei fuori di testa, ma diversa da loro, siamo fuori di testa, ma diversi da loro, siamo fuori di testa, ma diversi da loro. Parla, la gente purtroppo parla, non sa di che cosa parla, tu portami dove sto a galla, che qui mi manca l'aria. Parla, la gente purtroppo parla, non sa di che cosa parla, tu portami dove sto a galla, che qui mi manca l'aria. Parla, la gente purtroppo parla, non sa di che cazzo parla, tu portami dove sto a galla, che qui mi manca l'aria. Ma sono fuori di testa, ma diversa da loro, e tu sei fuori di testa, ma diversa da loro, siamo fuori di testa, ma diversi da loro, e siamo fuori di testa, ma diversi da loro. Noi siamo diversi da loro.
I'm David Murphy on All Out Eurovision. Let's check out the panel's views on this year's entry from Italy.
I mean, what an epic San Remo festival they had. They had excellent songs this year, but for me, this wasn't one of them. However, it's going to do well. Italy always seem to do well, usually with some justification, and I mean, this certainly adds variety to the lineup in Rotterdam. How for me, no thank you. But it's not my view that counts, it's the jurors and the televoters, and I think they're going to lap this one up in their droves. I think this is going to do very well for Italy, but for me, just 5 points.
Cool, this is a bit bleeping good, isn't it? It's the first time we've heard Italian rock and we are here for it. It will be great fun hearing it live. It's a good standard rock song and it is set to be a firm Mission Eurovision favourite. Can't wait to hear more of this, can't wait to see more of it. 10 points.
So you can never, ever discount Italy especially not from what you might call a podium finish, a first, second and third, and this year is no exception. This is ordinarily not the kind of music that I listen to. This is not something that I would purposely go out of my way to find. Yet when I heard it and saw it in Sanremo Festival, I was kind of attracted to it and drawn to it, and I can't exactly tell you why I love it as much as I do, but I think this is yet another really, really strong entry from Italy. They've had so many strong entries in the last decade. Surely one of them is going to produce a winner. Will it be this one? I'm not so sure, but like I say, you can never discount Italy. So for Italy, from me, it's 8 points.
City Ep1 is just what a Saturday night music show needs. Maneskin provide full-on gig entertainment with a near-perfect in-your-face stage show and vocals that make you listen and engage, even though you don't know the language. There isn't enough rock in Eurovision, and trust the Italians to give us some out of left field in 2021. 10 points from me.
This should not be my thing at all. For starters, I was of the opinion that Italy should never, ever grace the contest again if all they could put in was the same old ballad rehashed a million times, and when they left in 1993 right up until they came back, that's what I thought. Then the powers that be at RAI decided to actually listen to people and coupled that with Sanremo actually being a bona fide national final, and the standard of Italian entries upon their comeback started high and went up. I don't like rock particularly either. I mean, the closest I get to a mosh pit is a discreet 200 miles or so, and the heaviest thing in my MP3 collection is the hard drive that they're all hosted on. And yet, after about 20 attoseconds when the riff kicks in, which is as instant as the one from We Will Rock You or I Love Rock and Roll, I'm hooked, and I can't tear myself away from the video either. Beneath the layers of makeup and black eyeliner hides a song that's equally complex and face-smackingly direct, especially with the lyric in English being something that I've latched onto, because they certainly mean a lot to me. Go and look them up. It's the epitome of a song that grabs you and says, go on, don't vote for me, I dare you. I bet you can't. But this isn't like Finland, spoiler for next week. This is real grown-up rock that's not playing to anyone other than the people who like the song, and if you don't, I suspect Måneskin wouldn't mind or care. This is 3 minutes of pure genius, not in a Bucks Fizz kind of way, because that's genius as well, but this is one of those rare things, a real song of its time in a real live song contest. The jury should see the chart potential of this and vote it up. Televoters should vote for it because it's just a good piece of music. Will it win? I suspect it'll come darn close. Does it deserve to win? Oh, absolutely. 12 points.
Eurovision with me, David Murphy, and here's our panel's reaction to the song from the Netherlands.
Oh, I want to like this. I really do. Somewhere in there is a really great song waiting to get out, but for some reason it just never really gets there. He had a good song last year. He's undoubtedly a good singer, and I think it is distinctive enough to get some jury votes. I just worry that the televoters will watch it and think, that was nice, that was different, but then forget to vote for it at the end. But yeah, we'll see, but I've not got high hopes for the Netherlands this year, which is a shame. I'm going to give them 4 points.
We wanted to like this one more than we actually do, I think. It doesn't really get going. It might be better live though. I think it's got strong goosebump potential, so looking forward to seeing how it performs on the stage. We're going to give this one 5 points.
Well, our hometown host, Django McCroy, Birth of a New Age. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. There's every element of it I really like. I love him as a singer. I love the story. I love his story of coming from Suriname to the Netherlands. I love where he's come from. I love the music. I love the song. I love the language. I love the message. I love the messaging in the song. Yet somehow this, to me, it doesn't quite equal the sum of all its parts. It might be that it needs the staging, because I felt exactly the same way about Arcade until I saw it on the stage, and then it sort of all came together for me. So maybe that will be the same case with the Netherlands this year for me. So I've not written it off, but I'm just hoping for something to just lift it to the next level where I feel like it should be and where Django deserves for it to be. For the Netherlands, I want to see it improve on stage. Maybe if it does, I'll up my score a bit. But at the moment, 6 points.
Birth of a New Age by Django McCroy is a perfect host entry. The lyrics have a message, the vocals are spot on, and if we get anything like the video and the staging, the entry overall will have a purpose. The Netherlands won't be winning Eurovision again in 2021, but they will make everyone think, and that is a good thing. 7 points from me.
There are two schools of thought when it comes to the Eurovision Contest of Songs. The first one is that the host nation almost always gets a slightly inflated result because of the feel-good factor after a win. And secondly, you can put anything you darn well like into the contest these days as long as it's good. Django is riding a wave and not necessarily one of the ones I've just mentioned. His song, entitled Dawn of a New Age, is a Caribbean-inspired song about, and let's make no bones about this here, people freeing themselves from bondage in the old colonial days, and, arguably, the sentiment of that runs through Black Lives Matter as well. It is at this point I guess I'm supposed to make a plea that Eurovision shouldn't be used as a political point-scoring exercise. Then I look at some of the point-scoring exercises that have gone on over the recent years, including our own that we play with, and realise I'd best not go down that path. It's the song we're more interested in, and it definitely has a feel of a spiritual more than your typical Eurovision song. Django has a cracking voice, and the hook with the line in what I'm going to call Surinamese, because I can't currently find what it's called, is a poignant touch in a song that's more about struggle than making people feel happy. But, and again let's tell this how it is, there's an elephant in the room, and ironically, it's the one he's singing about. I think that the message will resonate in Western Europe, but for a proportion of the audience, particularly Eastern Europeans I hate to say, there will be a conscious or unconscious bias against a song sung by someone who isn't white. And that's sad because this will be big and bold and beautifully crafted on stage, but the continent has a way to go yet before it'll be united behind something like this. 7 points.
Representing Spain.
Quédate esta noche para ver amanecer, para sentir tu voz acariciándome. Quédate un segundo más, no hay nada que perder, mientras dibujo más memorias en tu piel. He bajado el cielo para descubrir que se esconde en tu mirada solo unos centímetros de mí. Voy a quedarme, prometo quererte más que ayer. Voy a besarte muy lento como la primera vez y dejar atrás el miedo. Con tu alma entre mis dedos, quédate, porque yo voy a quedar. Sé que muchos como yo con tanto que ofrecer, pero juro que este amor nadie lo podrá vencer. Y aunque nuestro baile diera un paso marcha atrás, no te preocupes, yo contigo siempre bailaré. ¿Qué más da si el mundo se derrumba hoy? ¿O qué pasará mañana? Que yo de tu lado no me voy. Voy a quedarme, prometo quererte más que ayer. Voy a besarte muy lento como la primera vez y dejar atrás el miedo. Con tu alma entre mis dedos, quédate, porque yo voy a quedarme a tu lado aunque nos tiemble el suelo, se apague el sol, se caiga el cielo, a tan solo unos centímetros los dos. Y dejar atrás el miedo, con tu alma entre mis dedos, quédate, porque yo voy a quedar.
I'm David Murphy with All Out Eurovision. Over to our panel now for their thoughts on this year's entry from Spain.
Well, it's not as bland as last year's, but it doesn't really shout vote for me, does it? It's sort of nice and pleasant and attractive, both the song and the singer, I might add. But it feels just like it's lacking that all-important something. It's almost the type of song the UK might have sent in recent years, and I really don't think I mean that as a compliment. However, despite all that, I do actually quite like it, so I'm going to give this 7 points.
I've gone back to read our notes that we made for our first listen, and all they talk about is the video. And I haven't gone back and given this a second listen until this evening. Read into that what you will. 3 points.
So Blas Canto is back for Spain. I was a big fan of his song from last year, which was called Universo. I really, really liked that song, and I still listen to that on my playlist. I have not downloaded Voy a Quedarme. I just don't connect with it so well. Blas is a great singer and a really good entertainer, great performer. But I don't know what they're going to do staging wise with it to lift this from being just a nice song. And the last thing you want to be at Eurovision is nice. You want to have people who love you, and you want to have people who hate you. That's how you get the results. If it's just nice, then it's probably going to end up in the 20s. Sorry, Blas. And because of all that, I'm giving Spain 2 points. Sorry, Spain.
Wow, when you know what the circumstances behind the composition and production of Voy a Quedarme are, you cannot help but be moved by Blas Canto's entry for Spain this year. It is a perfectly sung and heartfelt entry, suiting Blaz's voice and performance style perfectly, and I'm sure that it will truly honour the memory of his father and grandmother. 7 points from me.
Spain often confuse me. Their fans are some of the loudest and most annoying in fandom, but they're more often than not disappointed with what TVE serves up to them. This time they've had a whole 2 years to get used to the disappointment, but they're still going to be blindsided by it, like they are every year. Blas should be singing something good. He wrote this song during a pandemic about his grandma who passed away because of COVID in 2020, and as such, it's clearly personal and has a bit of him in the song, something which I always crave. The problem I have is actually believing anything he's telling me. Throughout the preview video, he hardly looks at the camera directly, and when he does, it's always in that coy way that you would expect someone to do when singing a love song, and whilst this is clearly something akin to a love song, it's not the right look for this song. So I went back to the Spanish selection to see if he connected with me more. But I got left feeling colder still, and it was the same with Universo last year. He's literally pouring his heart out, and yet, frankly, this song doesn't make me care. He tries to be all dramatic and stuff, but I just get the feeling of a boy band member going solo and not doing a very good job of his first single without his mates, and I shouldn't be feeling like that with the subject matter. He should look at Spain 1991 if he wants to try and sing a dramatic ballad at Europe and get results. This one doesn't have the power or conviction to get anyone other than Spaniards across Europe voting for it in numbers. It's finishing nearer the bottom than the top, again for Spain, and again, they won't understand why. 3 points.
Representing the United Kingdom.
Sometimes I know my fire burns low, but as long as you're with me, I'll never get cold. Day and night, through darkness and light, I never worry when you're by my side. Oh, feelings change and seasons fade, but nothing will burn us out. Nothing can stop us now. Out of the embers, you and I are gonna light up the room. Out of the embers, there's a fire burning for you. There's a fire burning for you. I feel it heating. There's still a chance for us. Down here in the ashes, yeah, there's something glowing. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Light up the room. Light up the room. You and me, forever we're free. We're cool under pressure, and that's all we need. So take my hand and forget the past. We're in this together, there's no looking back. Oh, feelings change and seasons fade, but nothing will burn us out. Nothing can stop us now. Out of the embers, you and I are gonna light up the room. Out of the embers, there's a fire burning for you. There's a fire burning for you. I feel it heating. There's still a chance for us. Down here in the ashes, yeah, there's something glowing. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Light up the room. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Oh, yeah. Light up the room.
It's all out Eurovision with yours truly, David Murphy. So then, what do our panel think of this year's home efforts from the United Kingdom?
well, it's competent, it's credible, it's professional, it's contemporary. All those things we've been desperate for, so it would be pretty churlish to be negative about our entry this year. And you know what? It is a good song. I think I could turn on most pop radio stations and this wouldn't sound out of place. The live performance, as ever, is going to be everything, and you know, that's not something we've always got right, but it's so nice to go into the contest, not with a song that we can simply say we're proud of, but a song that actually feels representative of mainstream British pop in 2021. So let's see, I'm going to give this 8 points.
Really don't mind this one, which is good. The lyrics are a bit awful though. Can we stop having songs with meanings kind of crowbarred into them? This has the potential to be a massive bop, but the horn section currently sounds like a late 1980s video game. If the production values are up just a bit, we are all over this. Solid 8 points for Mission Eurovision.
So the UK, James Newman is back. We're really happy about that. Personally, I think Embers is a big improvement on My Last Breath. And I really liked My Last Breath. I'm not saying that was a bad song and this is a good song. They're both really good songs, but I really think Embers is a step up. It's super current. It's really radio friendly. It's one of those like songs of the summer. I can imagine myself with the roof down on my car, because I can do that, and this just blaring out of the stereo. I think this is a really, really good song. I think this is the UK's best song in a good few years, and the best chance for a decent finish. Could it go top 10? I mean, anything's possible. It's Eurovision, but I think if we were to get a credible mid-table finish for the UK, that would just be brilliant. So for me, I'm giving the UK 8 points.
Embers might end up being the feel-good song of Eurovision 2021. James Newman exudes a likeable everyman persona that, combined with the electronica brass mix of this song, should get everyone moving and is arguably the most up-tempo entry for the UK since Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit. So many unknowns with the vocals and staging, but this could be the UK's best entry for years. 7 points from me.
Now the question here is one allowed to be a touch biased towards one's home broadcaster? Well, yes, because for year upon year, we and you have suffered with the same affliction that's currently affecting Spain and Germany at the moment: apathy, and not from the fans. We had some dire attempts to win a popular singing contest, along with some others that have been criminally underscored. James Newman tried last year, of course, with the rather awfully titled My Last Breath. Thankfully, in the year of respiratory disease, he didn't see the light of day on that one, so he's back with a banger this time round. Embers is your typical feel-good track with a great hook, brass and saxophone section parping the hook all over the place, and thankfully no live backing vocals to ruin his singing in Rotterdam. The preview video is professional with lots of kissing on stage and dancing all over the place in a proper summer feel, despite it being released in the middle of March. If his brief was write a song that makes people happy, he's hit the nail right on the head. If though he's been told write the UK winning song, now there's a good chap, he might have missed the boat, but for the BBC, who are in the midst of a yet another rebuilding phase, more than a couple of dozen points would be classified as a win. This will be performed note perfectly. James is a professional singer and songwriter after all. It's going to look great on stage in Rotterdam, because he'll be there and I won't be, which could also lift the hex of the UK doing badly, because when I'm not there we tend to do well. But back to the song. It's poppy and classy, it has all the elements to have a really good result. Or it has all the required elements, but people forget to vote for it because it's nice and a little bit forgettable, because presumably there'll be a Malta and an Italy and a San Marino and a Lithuania and a France and a Greece and a Cyprus, and you get the idea. If it comes across on stage, it's going to do well, but James has got to prevent it from getting lost. 8 points.
That's almost all we've got time for on this week's edition of All Out Eurovision. But here's JP from Eurovision Radio International and the Eurovision Lockdown to let us know what's coming up on next week's show.
Representing Albania,
Angela Peristeri and Karma. Vincent Bueno and Amen.
Amen. Tell me, is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Amen. Amen. Tell me, is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted?
Representing Croatia,
Albina and TikTok.
Vrijeme curi, gdje si više usne, grizem sama, jedva dišem, tik-tok, vrijeme juri, ne mogu više. Oh no, oh no. Tick-tock, I'll take you dancing, in time with my parade, you think you're fancy.
representing Macedonia,
Basil and Here I Stand.
This is how we found our way. My walls are down, my heart's in your hand.
representing Serbia,
Hurricane and Loco Loco.
Budi logo logo. A ty si sam, i ja znam, da bit ću lom, samo hajde, budi logo logo. A ja sad kad sam i fina, a ty si sam, i ja znam, da bit će lom, hajde, budi logo logo.
representing Slovenia,
Ana Soklic and Amen.
representing Switzerland,
John Steers and To l'Univers.
That's it from this week's All Out Eurovision. I've been David Murphy. My thanks to our regular panel members, Anna Ferguson from Mission Eurovision, Lisa Jane Lewis, Eurovision broadcaster, Alistair Rendell, president of the OGAE fan club, and Phil Colclough from On Europe. Plus, our guest panel members, Martin from Let Me Be the One on Bradley Stoke Radio, and JP from Eurovision Radio International and the Eurovision Lockdown. We'll be back next week. I'll leave you with James Newman's effort from 2020. This is My Last Breath.
Some people let go, some people let love slip away. Yeah. But I'm gonna hold on when no one believes. I'll keep the faith. And I know that we're in trouble, but I swear that we'll survive. If we were deep sea divers and no one came to find us, if you had nothing left, I'll give you my last breath. I'll give you my last breath. We all need a lifeline, someone to call when we're alone. Yeah. It's all good in the good times, but I'll still be there when it all goes wrong. Yes, I will. If we were deep sea divers and no one came to find us, if you had nothing left, but I swear that we'll survive. If we were deep